Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Air Kitty. Alright, and it is the start of the new year. Happy New Year, happy 2023. Hopefully the pandemic will finally be over. Hopefully. We can only go up from here, right? Well, in my mind, we can. Because I got you guys a gift. I did. Sorry that I wasn't able to get it to you during the actual holiday season, but I was too busy spending time with my family. Sorry. But hey, better late than never, right? So, if you couldn't tell by my amazing t-shirt what we're going to be talking about today, what your gift is, if this wasn't a hint enough, let me just show you then. Here it is. Mini Bratz Advent Calendar. So, as I usually do with all of this, with everything on my channel, I have a story to tell. So, it is the eve before Christmas, and I am getting some last minute things, you know, for gifts and stocking stuffers and stuff like that at Target. I'm going down the aisles and, of course, as many, you know, people do at Christmas and every other day of the year for some reason, I don't know who these people are. If you're one of these people, stop doing this. Or maybe keep doing it, because apparently this worked in my favor. When they find an item that they don't want, like they just figure out halfway through the store they don't want something, or they figure out that their child is holding something that they're like, no, we can't have that. Instead of realizing it when they're at the aisle, or going and graciously placing it back on the shelf where it belongs so that the workers don't have to go back through and get it for them, they just place it wherever they want. So while looking in the pet section for stuff for my pets, I find this sitting on the treat shelf. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And it was funny, and what caught my eye about it, obviously, was not the fact that it did not look like a treat. It was also the fact of, well, okay, a pet treat at least, looks like a treat for me at least. It was the fact that it says Bratz Minis. Now, Bratz Minis I don't think necessarily took off as big as, you know, the original dolls. And I have actually seen in some stores over the months and everything like that, that MGA is actually releasing even the original line of Bratz, to which I actually do want. But I was very surprised to find out that they were releasing mini Bratz again, or re-releasing, I guess, in this case. Because I don't think that this is a new line, considering at the top it says collectible. And also it says Series 1. Granted, I don't know if this means this is Series 1 of these Advent calendars, and the other holidays are also going to be getting Advent calendars. Or if they're going to start doing kind of like what they did with their other lines, like LOL Surprise, and I think maybe even... well, I can't remember the other brands, but that doesn't matter. But I know with LOL Surprise, which I know is one of their brands, as well as the subcategories of LOL Surprise, you know, they do the surprise element. You get a ball for $5, and then you open it up and you get like 5 surprises. So of course I was like, well, it's Bratz themed, and I actually haven't done anything Bratz themed on my channel yet, even though yes, I have promised that I will do that, and that promise is still going to be kept. Obviously it's just probably going to be a while to get there for some of the other stuff that I want to do. But I thought this would be a good start. So I grab it, put it in my cart, but the thing is that I'm trying to figure out the price on this, because obviously it's not where it belongs, and on top of that, even though I was standing right next to a price checker, you know, I'm sitting there trying to scan it, and the price checker is not catching it. So I'm like, alright, I'll wait until I get up to the cash register then. So I get into self-checkout, because I don't want to talk to the cashier, because you're very nice people, but I know that you'd rather me not be there either. On top of that, I've also done, you know, cashiering for many years, so I think I can qualify to cash myself out. So I'm standing in self-checkout, and I'm like, you know what? Let me scan this first, and let me see how much it is. I'll kind of determine it from there. I scan it. It finally scans. I get a price. It is $60 US. Now, obviously, you know how this ended because it's sitting right here in my hands. But my thought process for this was, obviously, I sat there for about a minute, kind of looked at the line behind me to see how many people were in line, and I thought to myself, you know, $60 is actually a lot of money for an advent calendar. But there's a long line of people waiting behind me. It is Christmas Eve. I really want this. But then on top of that, another thing that caught my eye, and another thing that kind of said to me, like, maybe I'm not just paying for the name. I better not be paying for just the name. Because if that's the case, I'm sorry, MGA, Mattel has won out on you, and I might be just going Mattel only at this point. But, so, right here in the corner, if I can figure out how to navigate myself here, there are 25 mini surprises. Now, I have seen a lot of, you know, toy advent calendars like this, and many of them only offer usually 8 to 12. Obviously, they're not usually as expensive as this, but some of the bigger name ones like Pokemon and I'm trying to think of some other big name brands that have had advent calendars. I think like even Harry Potter and stuff like that. They will usually charge probably somewhere in the $30, $40 range that I've seen. So the fact that this one offers 25 surprises, I'm like, you know what? I can kind of justify the $60. On top of that, I really didn't want to have to wait for an associate to come and help me to take it off my list. I really wish that with self-checkout, they'd really just allow you to do that yourself. And then catch you at the door if you try and steal something. I'd really like that. So, that is my story on how I got this advent calendar. And I'm actually really excited to open it up and see what's in it. I don't have a big recollection of the entire series of the mini Bratz brands and stuff like that. Maybe I'll try and pull up a list on the side here to see what series 1 was for the mini Bratz. Again, it's very vague, it's been many years. The big thing that I remember of the mini Bratz, and something that even I want to this day, is actually the mini Bratz mall. I always thought that was a really cool concept. I always loved the idea of malls and everything like that. I was constantly trying to make a mall with the thousands of play sets that I had with my Barbies. So, definitely was looking for that, but I'm so extremely happy to have this, and I'm really hoping that I'm not going to be disappointed with it. So, I'm going to switch the camera so we're looking down at the table instead of looking at me. Hopefully this format works a lot better. And we're going to go ahead and open this up. Okay, so now we're down here at the table. And before I get started, I do want to just make a correction that I said. So obviously, I was remembering the brands as mini Bratz that it says here on the cover. Again, like I said, it's been a few years since I've actually seen this brand. They were actually originally called Little Bratz. And I did actually pull up the wiki of the first edition, and the first edition actually has these exact same girls with this exact same artwork. With Yasmin looking too much like Chloe's twin here. Come on, Yasmin. Pick an ethnicity. Which one are you? So, yeah. But I can kind of see the dolls and what they're getting. So it looks like the dolls with an outfit on them, as well as a separate outfit that they come with. And I think maybe like one little accessory. I don't see an accessory or too much of an accessory in here, but it kind of looks like that might, I'm hoping that's not exactly all the 25 surprises, but I can't necessarily be upset if that is. So let's go ahead and open this up. Also, I'm holding scissors. Children, do not open the box the way that I'm probably going to open this. This is not safe. Also, don't have scissors if you don't know how to use them. Ask a parent or guardian to do this for you. Okay, warning's over. Because I hold my scissors like this. Don't hold your scissors like this. I'm an adult. I know what I'm doing. Also, don't try to slice anywhere near you. Don't do that either. That's bad. Slice away. Alright. So I've gotten this top layer off. And it looks like there's like Velcro holding down the corners. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna have to stand this up a little bit so people can see. But so here is the other side of that flap. Sorry for the light glare. But it has the Girls Again Series 1 Mini Bratz. And it just says, the girls with a passion for fashion. And just because the angle wasn't working, trying to like, have it down on the table. These are the surprise boxes. Or the surprise slots. Slots, I guess, is what we'll go with. So I don't know how well this is going to work with me trying to open these up going backwards, but I'm going to try. So let's start with slot 1 right here. Comes in little pink tissue paper. Okay. So before I look at the doll real quick, or figurine, I suppose. I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera either. But as you can see, like the tissue paper is pink and it has like the B for the Bratz and everything like that. So I think that's kind of cool. Also kind of going along with Next Gen, Great Big Toy Box, that user. She made a kind of a claim, like I think years ago with MGA, that they should start using tissue paper, some kind of like, eco-friendly materials for all these things. So, when they get put in the trash or, that when they get recycled or whatever, that they can actually be recycled. So I do actually like that, and they did listen to that. So good on them. I'm gonna put that off to the side because it actually is really nice. I might use it for other projects. But so this is kind of unexpected for me, but so this is the doll. The camera's not gonna focus. Hold on, let me get a better angle on this. There we go. So this is the doll. It looks like Chloe. Trying to tell like what the design is on her shirt. I think that's her symbol, like the angel, I believe, if I can get in a little closer. No, not really. Looks like she's wearing like a headband of some sort on the top there. Signature like tank, like cut off tank, blue there. Bell-bottom jeans with the blue heels. And a blue belt like around her waist and everything like that, with her signature blonde hair and blue eyes and pink lipstick. The quality on these is actually really, really nice. I'm just kind of looking around to see if there's like any paint defects. There's a little, I don't know if I can show you guys or if you can see it, but like my camera's probably not going to pick it up very well, but so right along our hairline there, it looks like obviously the hair and the head are a separate piece. And there's a gap between the hairline and her head. Which on camera doesn't probably look too bad, but in person, it's a little jarring. So yeah, I'm gonna leave Chloe off to the side here. Let's go ahead and open up the next one. This looks box-shaped a little. Okay. So again, pink tissue paper, but I love this because, so they gave me the box, like the doll's box and everything like that, but no doll. So my assumption is that Chloe is supposed to go in here. But so, trying to get a better shot of this so it stops focusing on me. Okay, so the camera doesn't want to focus, so I'll just put up an image of this that I'll take with my phone. But so the box here, I mean, it's very impressive. It reminds me a lot of like World's Smallest, or the like, what is it? The small toy brand kind of stuff, or small brands kind of line. Because it is an exact replica of the box as they probably would have made it back in the day. You know, you've got Chloe's name up in the corner in the beginning, or in the front here. The Bratz logo with all the girls. And then there's a 20 years, like, anniversary kind of logo there next to the girls as well. On the back side, they have, like, a little synopsis about Chloe and some of the things that she would have come with. Obviously, this being only a figurine, it's a little different. But so, there's the Bratz logo at the top, and then there's create over 20 different funky fashion styles. And they show Chloe in some of her outfits that she would have come with. And the little synopsis, the box, it says, "Hi, my name is Chloe and I rock. My fashion passion is exotic animal prints and sparkly fabrics. My friends call me Angel because that's what I am." A little egotistical, aren't we, Chloe? But apparently, so with this specific doll, like the original doll, it would have come with a hairbrush, 2 pairs of snap-on shoes, Bratz pack backpack, hair accessory, 2 fashion tops, and 2 fashion bottoms. And then obviously there was a small advertisement down on the bottom left side of the box where you could see all the dolls and basically what they like the first outfit that they would have come with and maybe some of their accessories. So because they've given me the box, I'm now wondering if I can actually put her in the box. I'm just gonna try to figure out how now. Because they did only tape the edges, I see. Oh. Why not? And if I need to, I will tape these edges back up. I don't know why my $60 went towards Scotch tape, but apparently it did. Okay, that's like this. Okay, so I see why they had tape here. Though I wish they would have just given me the tape. So, here is Cleo now in her box. If the camera will focus, I might have to put another picture up. Oops. Cleo also felt like taking a dive behind my desk. But yeah, so I mean, I like the idea of having the doll in the box. The problem is that... because, I mean, it looks like the doll should be able to fit perfectly in the box, but... looking at it from the side, you know, the base doesn't necessarily fit perfectly. And then on top of that, like the top of the box, the plastic that the doll is in kind of, because of that base, it squishes up against it and then pushes the sides out. I'm probably just going to keep Cleo in this box though, just kind of like one as protection for like the doll itself or the figurine. But just because in a way it is still kind of a cool concept. I will say the only change I really wish I could have seen with this is if they would have put the dolls in the box to begin with. Then, if you want to open the box and get the figurine out and then try to do it yourself, that's on your own time, your own risk. Not, oh, 2 of my surprises are the figurine and the box separately, and I've got to try to get the doll in the box. That's kind of a waste of money. Thank you very much. Okay, but number 3. Here we go. I feel like this might be another figurine, to which I'm praying to God it's not in the box in number 4. And it is. I believe, let me put the crinkly paper down. I believe this is Yasmin. And again, the paint job for the most part looks pretty good. She still has kind of the same kind of misshapen gap above the hairline. As well as there is a little bit of paint or something just stuck on the hair, like right on her left side. So I'm not really sure what's happening there. So not the best quality, but I mean, considering how tiny it is, it's like good enough quality for what it is. But okay, putting her off to the side and now going for surprise number 4, which I think at this point, I'm just gonna put on the table like this, just so I don't have to keep picking it up and moving it around. Oh boy, what a surprise! It's another box. To which again, my camera doesn't want to focus on any of it, but I'll show it off in the blurry vision that I can. So yeah, pretty much the same as Chloe's. Only difference is, obviously, this is targeted towards Yasmin. And the colors are now a teal or like, you know, minty green color instead. On the back, the little description for her is, hey, my name is Yasmin. My fashion passion is bohemian clothes in earth tone colors and awesome textures. My friends call me Pretty Princess because I rule. I really need more backstories to these nicknames that they keep giving them, because to this day I still don't really know why Chloe is called an angel. I still don't know why Yasmin's called Pretty Princess. I still don't know why, you know, Jade is called Cool Cat, along with everybody. Well, and then, well, sorry, don't forget Sasha. I also don't know why Sasha's called Bunny Boo, and I don't know why any other character in this franchise has the nickname that they have. Many people have a kind of backstory to the Bratz, and MGA has still, after 20 years, not given me a backstory as to why these nicknames exist. Essentially, the reason is they have this nickname just cuz. Which is not much of a reason, and on top of that, their characters sometimes do not actually match up with the reasons that they give. Like Chloe's. My name is Angel because I am. You are not anything that I would consider an angel. I would definitely put Yasmin as, you know, pretty. Princess, though, can also have a negative context to it, to which Yasmin doesn't necessarily, you know, have that. Yeah, sorry, ranting on the names here, but yeah, essentially it is a box. I got a box again. And I'm not going to struggle right now with putting Yasmin in her box. I may do it like at the end when I reveal them all again, like as a group. But for right now, just be happy that we got a box, I suppose. Or don't be happy, because I'm not really happy. Okay, but let's see. That was 4. Now we gotta find 5. 5. Okay, it looks like we got something a little different finally. Okay. We have Yasmin in what I believe is like the Winter Wonderland series outfit, I believe. I don't remember if that was what the line was called, but the, you know, the winter outfit. Or one of her winter outfits. And it doesn't necessarily look like a doll. I did see something on the front that says something about eyeshadow. So I'm wondering if that's it. There is, again, a little tiny piece of tape that's holding this down, so I'm going to break that seal and see what's inside. If it shall let me. Oh, that's cute. Okay. So there's like a mirror and some eyeshadow like colors in there. There's a plastic seal over the eyeshadow. I don't know if you can necessarily see it with me flashing it back and forth. I'm not even sure technically if the eyeshadow is real. I feel like they're just kind of stand-ins. To which I actually want to get a, just like a Q-tip to see if I can get any color off of that. But yeah, so I do remember the Bratz doing makeup series stuff, so it is cute, and I'm glad that we finally got something different. I'm gonna go ahead and close that back up and just reapply the tape so it stays down. Put it off to the side. Huh. Very nice. Very glad we're finally getting something different other than just the figurine and then the box to which they want to say, here, have fun. So number 6 is a little bit of a different shape, so I'm hoping something different again. Not really, I suppose. So we finally have Jade. And I will say Jade is actually of a better quality. She doesn't have the weird like headline gap that the others have. And the paint job on it is a lot better, as well as the fact of like the textures. They actually got some textures like on the jacket, as well as like the hat, and I think technically even on her stockings that she's wearing, or the leggings, pantyhose, whatever she's actually wearing under there. And a little bit on the turtleneck that's underneath her big puffy coat. But it's funny because the first two, Chloe and Yasmin, were in what looked to be kind of like their first series fashion line, or like a kind of earlier set. And then Jade's sitting here in her winter gear. So it's like it kind of breaks a little bit. I'm like, I have a feeling we're just gonna get just the 4 girls in just any fashion sense, but I do kind of hope we get the originals as well as, like, if they're gonna give us the dolls in the boxes, like, I hope that they give us the originals as well as the fashion, like the winter fashions kind of idea. Though I have a feeling this next one is probably gonna be her box. Oops. Broke it a little bit on the perforated, but that's fine. Okay. So yeah, this one's a little different. This is Jade's Wintertime Collection box, to which the camera doesn't want to focus again, so why am I even bothering doing that? And it does have a different shape. It's actually almost like... It's almost like the opposite shape of the originals. Because the originals were like this trapezoid that went downwards. This one's kind of going the opposite direction. There is some stuff on the back here. It is a little hard to see. From what I can see, so obviously we have Jade on the back showing off her outfit in the traditional Bratz art style. And underneath the logo of the Wintertime Collection, it says, mix and match for tons of cool looks. I think underneath it is in French. And a little bit of text that I can tell on the bottom under that is, it may be ice cold, but the Bratz are heating things up with the hottest winter fashion around. John Beam in something brings a little something extra funkalicious and totally extreme. Text was very hard to read. And the only thing I can tell from underneath that is basically it debuts what the doll would have come with. It is such small text that even my 20/20 vision cannot read it. And then just below that at the bottom of the box, there's like a picture of the entire set. Not just doll, but even the playset that it would have come with. Or, you know, the one that you would have gotten separately. But yeah. So it's kind of a cool kind of throwback idea, like to like almost do like the world's smallest Bratz dolls. These are really displayable and I really do like these. Like again, I just wish the doll would have come in the box and that we would have gotten like another surprise instead of the doll and the box coming separately. Just because here, the thing is, like, just as much as the workers probably don't want to necessarily be struggling with this, I don't want to either. But for $60, I hate to say it, I feel like the doll should just come in the box and I should get other surprises. So yeah, we will struggle with this off camera and just put it together for a big reveal. 8. Yes, and just like I thought, the last one is Sasha. And again, the art, like, the paint job on her is really good. For the most part, the paint job on most of these has been really, really good. The hairline gap, you actually can't tell as much with her because her hair is just completely pulled back. So it doesn't look as jarring. And minus where there's like a little, I don't know if it looks like a scrape or if it's just something with the packaging or something like that. Sasha, I think, probably looks second best out of the girls. Jade so far has looked the best, with as little defects as possible. Okay, and Sasha's box is actually a little different. Hers is actually the original Bratz box that, you know, I believe this is like either Series 1 or Series 2 of these girls. So on the front, it has a logo with the 4 girls on the side with their, you know, classic motto, the girls with a passion for fashion. The background of the logo and the girls, that bottom banner, as well as the banner that kind of goes across the left corner, is a very dark blue, the typical Bratz dark blue color. And in the right-hand corner is the, you know, is Sasha's little symbol, the bunny boo symbol. On the back, we have that same just dark blue background with the logo at the top, and it says create over 20 different funky fashion styles below it. We then have Sasha in the classic Bratz art style, and then next to Sasha we have her name and the symbol, the bunny boo symbol. And now with Sasha's, her reason for her nickname actually makes sense. On the back here it says, "Hi, my name is Sasha. My friends call me Bunny Boo because I love the hip-hop thang." Now, obviously hers makes sense because it's like, okay, you think of hip-hop and just the words themselves, you think of like a rabbit. So it's like, it kind of makes sense why her symbol is a rabbit of some sorts. But underneath her little synopsis, we have the list of things that come with the doll, and it says that it comes with a hairbrush, 2 pairs of snap-on shoes, Bratz pack backpack, hair accessory, 2 fashion tops, and 2 fashion bottoms. And then below the list we have a little sneak peek of the other girls that you can collect for the series. So we have Yasmin, Chloe, Sasha, and Jade. Well, you already have Sasha, technically, so it would just be Yasmin, Chloe, and Jade. And yeah, a little star that says collect them all, Bratz symbol in the lower left, and the saying that says best friends never looked this good underneath all of them. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to see the different style of the boxes that they've produced over the years. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking away from that necessarily with this whole series. Again, just would have loved to see them in the box and then gotten other surprises instead. Number 10 here is really small, so I'm kind of wondering what this is. This is actually probably, I think, one of the smallest surprise holes, slots. I'm sorry, what? We have the smallest box of Bratz lipstick. It was kind of hard to tell what it was because it's just a box, but on some of the sides it actually does say lipstick, and it does look like it can be opened. There's one piece of tape holding it down, so I'm going to go ahead and open the piece of tape to see if there's actually a piece of lipstick inside. Okay. Never mind, it's 2 pieces of tape. It looked like 1 piece of tape, but this thing's really tiny, so... There's actually stuff inside. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now the box is completely disassembled. these little pieces of tape on the side here so I can hopefully retape it later. And I think this is so funny. It actually comes with like a little warning tag with the lipstick. So, I just want the lipstick, so get off of there real quick. Put that off to the side so I can go ahead and do it later. Can I actually open the lipstick? Oh, I can. Oh my god. It's actually lipstick. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, so actually, like, it's the tiniest lipstick that I've ever seen, but it is actually lipstick. Like, I'm actually trying to see if I can swatch myself with it just a little bit. It's so tiny. Yeah, like, it's actual lipstick. Like, you can actually use this. Oh my god. Okay, let's quickly put this back on so I don't ruin it. Which means that the eyeshadow probably actually is eyeshadow. Which means I guess I have to try and put lipstick on myself today. Or not lipstick, makeup. It's probably gonna be really hard to see. I don't even know if the camera's gonna pick it up. Probably not. But kind of there, and I'll probably try to take a picture of it so it's more clear. But there is actually a small bee on the lipstick tube to symbolize Bratz and everything, so that's actually really cool. Okay, putting the lipstick or the makeup together, doggone it. With the box and everything, so I can reassemble it later. So that was 10. We now have 11. Oh, okay. So now we have just regular jade. Okay. And I mean, I'm not seeing anything wrong with this model, actually. It doesn't have the head gap pretty much at all. Paint job, again, is, okay, fairly good. There's a little bit of messiness, like, on the side there, and then, like, that mishappenness. So, there's that. But it looks like she's kind of got the UK flag on the front of her shirt, so I'm wondering if this was the UK series, or, like, I think it might have been, I don't know if it was Rock Angels, but I think they did have, like, a specific, like, UK-inspired series line. I don't know. I have a feeling I'm gonna have my friend Vanessa probably come to me afterwards telling me all the different little things, and I encourage her to, please tell me what these all came from, because I can't remember. So let's see, so that was 11, correct? Yes, it was 11, so I need 12. I am blind. 12 is up here. Okay, so oddly enough, actually, it's just the regular box again. So there's not much different from Sasha's box, other than the fact that obviously the symbols changed. So obviously instead of the orange rabbit sign in the right-hand corner of the box, it is now the pink cat sign indicating her nickname Cool Cat. And then on the back, obviously the different art style, well, the different art for the doll, which is obviously Sasha Jade, and then the little synopsis. So Jade's synopsis says, "Hey, my name is Jade. My friends call me Cool Cat because I love cats and because I'm cool." First half of that, okay, got it. Love that. Second half of that, that's a little subjective. I'm not saying that Jade isn't cool. Actually, she was my favorite Bratz doll growing up. I always loved Jade, actually. It was the problem of just being like, because I'm cool. It's the same thing with, like, Yasmin's like, my name's Pretty Princess because I rule. Okay, that doesn't exactly give me context, but it's I can't lie, it's better than Yasmin's. So, there's that. Okay. 13, and it looks like maybe another doll. What happened to you, sweetheart? So it is another doll, and again, I can't really tell if you're gonna be able to see it. I might have to take a picture of it for it to be more clear, but come on, camera, focus. Focus on... I don't think the camera even wants to focus on this atrocity. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. See how her head sticks out way further than her hat? Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna take a picture of this, but yeah, her head is not really attached to her hair or the hat, as well as to the back of her coat, like it's supposed to be. Other than that, I suppose, the paint job isn't too bad. It's again one of those things, like, since this is the wintertime collection, it's a bunch of winter theme things, so like the places where there's fur, as well as the fact of like the texture on the hat is there. And I believe, I can't really tell necessarily, but even technically on the turtleneck and on the leggings that she's wearing underneath, they do actually have texture on them. But yeah, that is just, what the heck. I'm actually trying to think. I don't think I can kind of push her face back into it. I think it's the fact of like, it is legit glued like that. So I'm like, that's a shame. That is an absolute shame. $60 and that's what I got? Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. So 14 is basically the box for that exact same doll, the atrocity doll. And it looks exactly the same as Jade's. The only difference is that obviously instead of Jade on the front, it's Yasmin. And then obviously on the back, the art style with the little synopsis, I'm sure. Nope, the synopsis is the same. Just the doll style, so not much to say about that. Just, it's for Yasmin now. Atrocity Yasmin. Okay, but now we go back to the little tiny box. To which I'm interested if this is going to be more makeup. I can't get it. Hold on. There we go. And it does indeed look like more makeup. It is mascara. To which now I have to see. I have a feeling that this is probably going to be used on another item. I did see a little bit of something in the list of mini Bratz stuff when I was looking for the original series for the little Bratz, thinking it was that. Which, to my hopefulness, I hope it is for something else, one of the other things in this collection. Because I don't like wearing eye makeup, at least mascara and eyeliner and stuff like that. I don't like having things that close to my eyeball. We gotta kind of finagle this again. There we go. Okay, box is disassembled. We have our same warning here, probably telling us not to actually eat the product, which is a good sign to have. Not that I wanted to do that. Again, can't really tell because it does blend a little bit with the color of the item, but there is a little bee on there. Little bee. There we go. And there is there's the tiniest bit of mascara on the top. Yeah, right there. I can't get it off, but that's fine. So, like with controlled force, I'm trying to open this. I can't open this. Okay, I legit cannot open this mascara, so I'm gonna assume... Like, I can see mascara in there. And all the other makeup products did actually open. Yeah, but like, I can't even get my nail in between, like, the bottle and the cap to try and push it open. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. I don't want to break it. 16. Okay, different shape. A little heavier. Feels heavier. Okay. This is cute. So it's like a very formal Chloe with this long kind of princess-like pink dress and glitter all around it. She's got some like streaks in her hair with some glitter. I don't know if the glitter's just kind of the stuff that's kind of coming out from her dress. And it does kind of look like it's coming, like it is kind of rubbing off a little bit. I can see a bit of a pattern from the back. Like it's supposed to be like, you know, glitter flowers and stuff like that. But I can't really tell from the front. It seems like it has been rubbed off a little bit. But it's a really cute dress. I have no idea what line this is from. Again, other Bratz fans and, you know, friends will have to tell me what this is. I don't know if she comes off her base, because there are like little prongs on the bottom to like indicate like, oh yeah, like the base is detachable. To which I don't really want to find out, but it does look like she's kind of coming out of the base a little bit. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, she is coming a little bit out of that base. But that's okay. I pray to God that she does not have a box I have to open up. Granted, I might have that. So that was 16, now 17. Oh goody, she does. Oh my God, it's a big box. This thing is massive. Like, let me get one of the regular boxes for comparison. It's very girthy. I do feel bad because I love how I'm like totally forgetting that these dolls, these figurines are probably gonna come with boxes of their own. And I'm like, I'll have to have friends tell me where this comes from immediately as I pull up the box. I'm like, oh, that's a series. But yeah, so, oh, and actually it's not Chloe, I'm sorry, it's Trinity. That's the name of the doll. Her name is Trinity. You can't really see it, but it is right there next to her head, the artwork. So this is the Collector's Edition Series 2, Bratz Holiday Edition. And it says, celebrating the only girls with a passion for fashion, down at the bottom. So yeah, it's a clear box. There are some snowflakes on the back to give it that kind of winter feel. Teal bottom. Not much to say about it. It's a box. So yeah, that goes there. Okay, this is cool. So now I'm fairly certain this is... So I'm fairly certain this is the Rock Angels version now. Or like the UK inspired one. But we do have a little bit of defects. So see how she has the orange hair? See how her hair isn't orange anymore? So, there's that little side effect of this. But again, so far as I can tell, the paint job looks good, texturing is nice. It does resemble quite a bit of the original doll, from what I remember. There is still a little bit of that head gap happening. Quite a bit, but not as bad as, Disaster Yasmin at the moment. So then her next one's probably gonna be her box, so that was 18. It's now 19. Pretty in Punk, that's what the line was called. Yeah, and this is Chloe. Okay, so you've got Chloe there on the bottom with, you know, the name of the line, Bratz, Pretty in Punk, and the, you know, England flag in the background. On the back, there's like the synopsis with like a poster, it looks like a rock band poster with all the dolls featured in it. Chloe on the side and the flag in the background as well. So let's see the text. So right below the line's logo, it says, "Get ready to rock it like a rebel. Cause you're taking a trip down to the underground. Looking pretty in punk with the Bratz in London." And then the poster says, "Party like a punk. Amuse tot come on punk." I feel like I'm supposed to be saying that with like a Cockney accent or something like that, but it still doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I think I do actually remember this line when it came out. And it was funny because it wasn't anything necessarily to do with England or anything like that. I do actually like the fashion of England, but for me the problem is that I like the more historical fashion, not necessarily the punk rebel fashion of England. There was that. On top of that, I think what also threw me off was the fact of, so the artwork of Chloe here on the side, I don't remember if she actually ever came with that outfit. I think it was like a secondary outfit or something like that. Usually and typically they show the main outfit that the character features in on the artwork, not necessarily the second outfit. So it was very odd for me to see that, like, she's being featured in her second outfit with a different hairstyle than the one she actually comes with. But anyways, so now 20. Looks like more makeup. Yes, more makeup, and it might be more eyeshadow or something. So we now have Sasha's makeup palette. And it's pretty much the same as Yasmin's. You know, you got the little mirror. Hello. And you've got all the colors there. I'm kind of actually wondering, because now I want to pull up Yasmin's to see, like, how the colors differ for them. Yeah, so Yasmin's kind of looks more like she's got more like blues and greens in hers, whereas Sasha has more like oranges and yellows and reds, like more warm colors in hers. So very much different palettes, just obviously pretty much the same thing, so not much more to talk about with it. Hey, we finally got a Bratz boy! Believe this is Cameron, if I remember correctly. I think this is Cam. Come on. Focus on Cam. Focus more on Cam. There we go. But yeah, not much to pick out from him. Paint job looks really good. He looks very country-esque, to be honest. I mean, it's my type of guy, but you know, I don't know if it necessarily fits with the Bratz theme, being a little bit more metropolitan. But yeah, no defects. Thankfully, because the guys usually have like more like sculpted hair or like flattened hair, don't really have a problem with the hairlines on this one. Yeah, paint job looks good. Creases look good. Obviously, there's the residue molding off of them, but that's fine. So now we'll get to see his box that he came in. Was I right? Was it Cameron? It is Cameron! Okay, good. I do remember the guys. But so, this is Cameron's 20th anniversary box. Not as original. It's kind of hard to see again. So Cameron has his little symbol up on the top left corner of his box. There's a logo of Bratz Boys. There's like a little piece of artwork of Cameron down on the bottom left, or the bottom right, next to the 20 years anniversary logo with his name. And the motto for the boys was, "The boys with a passion for fashion and the Bratz." Passion for fashion and the Bratz. Okay, so we've established that they're in love with the Bratz girls. That's cool, okay. I mean, it was kind of a given, but still. So, on the back, it has that same, like, dark blue background that the typical, like the original Bratz boxes came in. There's a logo of the Bratz Boys at the top, and then the little claim of create over 20 different cutting-edge fashion styles. It then has Cameron, again, not in his outfit that he came in, but in the secondary outfit, I believe. Has his logo and everything in his name, and his little synopsis says, "What's up? My name is Cameron. The Bratz call me the Blaze because I'm hot." I don't know if Cameron was technically supposed to be considered the hottest Bratz boy. I think I was more of a Kobe kind of girl, actually. I kind of like Kobe more. But I guess that's a reason, I suppose. But around his synopsis it says, "Boys' fashion was never this cutting edge. Cool." Okay. Then there's the list of things that they came with: 3 cool tops, 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of snap-on shoes, a hat, comb, boys bag with a Z, because they're cool, and then tons of kickin' accessories. I can't lie, actually, the boys seem to have come with more than the girls did. And that makes me more enticed to get a Bratz boy instead of a Bratz girl. But yeah, so then, at the very bottom, along with, you know, the Bratz logo and then the Bratz Boys logo next to it, as well as the 20th anniversary logo, they show you the dolls that you can get. So not only are they premiering Cameron on here, but they also have the other girls and everything like that, which I think... It's not necessarily their original design, I believe, but it's like one of their first designs. It actually looks exactly like the ones on the box here, this one. Right here. And they just call themselves the Bratz Pack. So yeah. Cute little box. I will say that probably was the one thing that made Bratz kind of stand out a lot more than a lot of the other toy brands, was the fact that they actually offered guys in their brand. They actually offered like boy dolls. I think I've said this in a lot of other series with the doll lines, is having that gender diversity really helps, especially break that barrier. And then on top of that, you know, it's like, sure, girls may not have necessarily, well, not all girls now have that fantasy of finding, you know, their prince in a sense, or the perfect guy. But it's like, you know, it's good to have, like, play with that imagination, because it's like, you know, girls may want to have just a guy friend for their dolls. They may want to have a boyfriend for their female Bratz doll, or their female doll and everything like that. Or, you know, the guys that, you know, were actually okay with playing with dolls, but, you know, are gay, they may want a boy doll to represent them, as well as to have another boy doll, so that they can have a boyfriend for their boy doll. Representation. But yeah, so very glad to see the boy dolls also being represented here. I would have loved to have actually seen more of them in this series, but not upset about that at all, actually. So moving on. Making a nice little stack of pink Bratz paper. Let's see, this one looks like Yasmin, I think? I think it's Yasmin. It could also be Sasha. I mean, I hate to say, I mean, I know like it's like Sasha's, you know, has darker skin, she's black. Why would that be Sasha? I hate to say it, Sasha kind of falls underneath this kind of problem that I've seen too with Yasmin, where she gets whitewashed. And so sometimes, like with Yasmin, sometimes she just looks, you know, she actually looks Latina, like she's supposed to, like she's claimed to be. But then there's other times where she looks just, you know, American European, like French or English, because they like tone down her skin so much. And then Sasha kind of falls in the same thing sometimes with some of her artwork. You know, sometimes she actually looks African American or black, you know, as she's supposed to, as she's claimed to be. But then there's times like they whitewash her so much, I'm like, she doesn't look African American anymore. She doesn't look black. She looks white. Or sometimes I'm like, Sasha looks like she's supposed to be the Latina here. But yeah, so my guess is that this is supposed to be Yasmin. Next one's probably gonna be her box, so please tell me that I'm right. I also think I remember Yasmin wearing this outfit for the doll line, so I think that's it. When it comes to this doll in particular though, everything's okay. Again, not a big head gap problem, but there is a bit of a paint problem with the hat. Trying to get as close as I can to show you if it'll focus again. Yeah, so right there on the brim, there's like a black smudging or something like that, and then on top of that, there's like the hat, the white paint from the hat kind of leaks down into her hair, kind of on the same, on the other side as well. So yeah, not too impressed with that paint job, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt that these figures are like smaller than my index finger, like even down to the second knuckle. So I can imagine, like, yes, if I had to paint my entire finger down to the second knuckle with small details, I would also have a problem. Oh god, this one feels round. It's her box, but it feels round. And no wonder I've seen this outfit on her before. It is the Rock Angels series. With her on the front. Which I can't lie, yeah, like, Rock Angels, I did actually see the whitewashing happen quite a bit. And I've seen this a lot too, and especially with Yasmin, to which I hope that they do a better job with kind of that representation. So yeah, like, I believe Yasmin is the one in the front with the blonde streaks in her hair to the right side of the box there. But I could be wrong, and I'm trying to remember. Yeah, okay. So that's the one that she looks like on the box in the front. But yeah, so this is another 20th anniversary box, though. And so the background of the box is supposed to look like a stage with speakers on either side. Yasmin's name is in the left-hand corner of the box. They have the logo of the line, Bratz Rock Angels, with Yasmin sitting in the front there, with the tagline, "The only girls with a passion for fashion." And as I showed you before, on the back of it, there's obviously all the Bratz that you could get. So we've got the main four, you know, Sasha, Chloe, Yasmin, and Jade. And actually it's even funnier because this is another, I hate to say it, with the Rock Angels line, I didn't really like it as much, and it was the reason for none of the girls look like who they were supposed to be. Jade doesn't look like Jade at all. Jade looks like Yasmin. Yasmin looks a bit like Chloe until I then kind of see Chloe, but then I'm like, Chloe looks like she's supposed to look like Jade. So as much as I really do like the fashion of this one, how the dolls are represented for themselves just didn't hit me the right way. But then we also have the new addition of Roxy in this line. So we've got the logo of the line at the top, but at the very bottom, below the dolls, we have a little synopsis, and it says, The Bratz are back, and they're here to rock, as they blaze through the charts straight to the top, with words to inspire and a rockin' new sound. They're an international sensation and the hottest group around. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool box and everything, but whoops, I didn't really have any kind of good ties, I guess, to Rock Angels other than the video games and the music. But that was really it. The dolls themselves I didn't really care for. Just because, again, they didn't represent who they were supposed to be representing. And on top of that, it was very easy to confuse them for each other. So, yeah, it wasn't very easy to pick them out. So now we're on to our very last surprise, to which I'm kind of wondering what it is. I have an idea, but I don't know for sure. And actually, I am surprised because it's not that at all. It was not what I was expecting. And the last piece of paper. Ta-da. Okay. So we have this little eyeshadow palette here with the main girls on the front. I think they're actually... Well, Sasha is the same. But none of the other ones are the same on my shirt. So I don't know where these fashion lines were coming from. I don't know where the art direction was going. But yeah. So let's see what the colors are for this. Okay. So very much to the other eyeshadow palette stuff. So you've got the little small mirror in the front. Right there. Hello. And just a bunch of different colors. It looks a lot like Yasmin's color palette, actually. Just some of the colors, but it seems like it's trying to encompass all the girls this time. But it is a really cool color swatch for that, so that's really nice. Okay, so that was the mini Bratz advent calendar. New outfit and everything, yes. I'm doing the review afterwards because I didn't like the one that I did initially during the whole thing. I felt like I had a lot more thoughts that I wanted to express after doing a little bit more research about the brand, as well as the fact of reading some more reviews about it. So as I usually do with my reviews, I usually start with the bad stuff and end with the good stuff. And then I'll do kind of like an overall of what I think, you know, like some changes or some little tweaks here and there. Or better yet, some, you know, improvements. Something that makes it better than what it is. So kind of starting with the cons. So the first one that I noticed, and this was the big one, and this is just kind of going against the whole brand itself, the whole Mini Bratz brand. I don't think the brand should have been called Mini Bratz, because it's way too close to Little Bratz, which was an already existing line. And for me, again, who has never heard of Mini Bratz, who is just coming into this, like this was my very first Mini Bratz experience, I wholeheartedly thought this was Little Bratz, that series, because they're doing a lot of comeback series, you know, like one of their most popular lines for the dolls that came out, you know, way back in the early 2000s, you know, they've resurged, you know, they're doing other things here and there to bring back the series, like the earlier days, I mean, you know, toys from that era. I thought this was Little Bratz, so I thought that they were bringing that back, but that wasn't it at all. So for me, who's an old-time fan seeing the new stuff, it's very, very confusing. And I hate to say it, even though I still like the product, I can't lie, it was a little disappointing opening the box and seeing, oh, it's just this little figurine. Because I thought I was getting a doll. And the inner kid in me was like, yay, I'm gonna have another doll to play with. But then I had this figure and I'm like, oh, that's nice, I guess. Okay. But yeah, so I think I said this maybe 100 times during the video, and I'm going to say it again just to make it sure it's documented in this last bit. But obviously, I hate the fact that half of the surprises were the box for the figurines I got. I really do feel like that's a cheapskate move to basically do, to like just separate out the little pieces and stuff like that. Again, if it was an actual like doll that I could play with, you know, like an LOL surprise doll, the surprises are not only the doll, but the little things that you can do to play with the doll. Like, you know, it comes like with one outfit, and then there's a second outfit that comes with it, and then like some little accessories. That I kind of like. Granted, I guess in further retrospect, this is kind of that exact same idea where it's like, you know, oh, in order to get the complete set, it's kind of separate out into different slots, which now makes me not want to ever buy LOL surprise dolls. Not simply because of the fact that I ever wanted to, not that I've ever had one, but just because now I don't want to play into that capitalist scheme. But so, that kind of irked me, and after reading some reviews, that was actually the main takeaway I kept seeing with this product. A lot of people were bringing it up that they hated that the figurines and the boxes were coming in separate surprises. To which I'm going to assume, because again, I've never seen an unveiling or, an unboxing, an unwrapping of the actual mini Bratz surprise bags, like the ones that you can just buy at the store today. I've never seen those. So my assumption is that the figurines and the boxes, come together. That, the figurine either comes in the box already or you get that as one surprise in itself. So that kind of irked me a little bit, as well as it irked a lot of people. So staying on this whole topic with the reviews, another thing I kept reading was the fact that this collector's edition box did not actually offer a lot of new items. The only new item was the holiday Bratz. So, to give you guys an idea, this is the only new thing that you cannot find in the mini Bratz surprise bags. Everything else, I'm going to guess including the makeup, you can find in those $8 to $9 mini surprise bags. So it kind of feels, again, like a cop-out because this is supposed to be a collector's edition box, which means that there's supposed to be collectibles in there, stuff that you can't get anywhere else. This is like a one-time offer, but yet this is the only thing that's new in that entire box. The rest I could have gotten on my own. Really? Thanks. But yeah, and again, going back with the whole boxing thing, the boxes themselves were really difficult to, get the dolls into. Like, it took me, I think in the recording, it took me about 20 to 30 minutes just to box every single doll. And part of that problem was the plastic mold that comes in the box that holds the doll in place, to make it pretty and everything. Those molds, not all of them actually fit with the doll, which I found very surprising because I was like, it should. It's made for this figurine. Why doesn't it fit? And this wasn't even the ones for the dolls that had the bad quality, like Atrocity Yasmin. No, Atrocity Yasmin fit fine in hers. But ones that had very little defects, or even none at all, still could not fit in their box, or even in their molds. I had to literally force them in, to the point where I'm a little scared to unbox them now, at any point in my life, because I'm afraid to find out if any of the paint has chipped. I don't think it has. I think the paint is pretty durable, but even still, I don't want to find that out. But yeah, so then that also gets me to my last point of the fact of the quality of some of these dolls. I understand, and I've said in the video, I will kind of give a pass to the fact of, they're painting a doll that is literally this big. So trying to get very, very small details in there, very small textures and everything, I absolutely get it. It is difficult, and on top of that, when you've got 5,000 million of these, I know it's not a real number, but basically 5 million of these dolls to do the exact same one, and then there's 20 brands or 20 different other versions of them that you gotta paint. I understand it can get overwhelming for these workers. And there's bound to be some defects and little problems here and there. And I'm not really worried about that. I'm not necessarily too worried about paint as much. Purely because it's a little bit of paint, kind of coming off some of the items, or, kind of coming off some of, one item onto another one. That's fine. It's acrylic paint. I can buy acrylic paint and redo it myself. And I'm talking little spots, little touch-ups here and there. That's different. When you have the doll mold that doesn't actually fit, again, using Atrocity Yasmin as an example, literally the base of her head was not touching, or the base of her forehead was not touching the rest of her head. It was decapitated at the top. That is really bad quality. I'm like, how did that ship out? The other thing that I found a little strange, and I didn't necessarily mention it exactly in the video, but it did kind of irk me a little bit, was the fact that they added a doll with glitter on its, outfit. A lot of the glitter started, kind of coming off to the point where I couldn't even tell what the symbols were supposed to be in some areas. So it didn't look as good. And again, this is why I'm like, it would have been better if they had just put them in the boxes to begin with, because then the quality of those outfits and the dolls themselves wouldn't have been wrecked if it happened in transit. They would have been protected. So that's kind of all the things I want to say about, the bad things with this product. Now, switching over to the good things, and yes, there were actually some good things. Some things I did find that I was like, okay, I'm going to get my $60 worth out of this product. What are some good things I can think about it? So the first good one I can think about is because these dolls are so small and because they do come in boxes, the boxes that were literally, well, for the most part, as far as I remember from my childhood, it was a long time ago, but the boxes that literally you would have seen on the shelves when you bought the doll. It kind of does make me think of, well, if you use these dolls like with Barbies and stuff like that, or like, 11-inch dolls, it would actually make kind of like a good, like, store play or like store products and stuff like that. Kind of like with like World's Smallest or Tiny Brands and stuff like that. Those things. It kind of makes for like a good like little store play if you wanted to. So like, that'd be really cute. And then on top of that, like, like just other play sets, like playset ideas, I suppose. So it's like, it's good in that sense. I will say the only con to it is that you can't actually play with the figurines, I suppose. I mean, I'm sure some kids will, they have bigger imaginations than I do. And, they'll find ways to play with the doll and everything like that. And to them, it's like, good on you. For me, though, it's like I would have liked a doll with more articulation. But regardless, it's like I can still find ways to use them in play sets or, in like doll house building if I ever get into that. So it's like I can still find ways to use it. The other thing that I really liked about this, though, is the fact that it wasn't just the figurines and the boxes, it was also the makeup. I really was not expecting to get real makeup with these doll brands. I was literally expecting them to be like play makeup. It wasn't until like I kind of smudged a little bit into the lipstick when I was trying to open it that I realized, oh my gosh, this is real. So I haven't tried any like of the makeup on me. Obviously, I've only tried a little bit on my finger. My fingers are fine, so obviously I don't see any problem with it, and it hasn't stained. And it's been like weeks later, I think, since I've recorded this. So I'm okay. No hospital visit has happened in between that time. But I do like it. I can't really speak to the quality of the makeup or, how it's used or if it can be used on myself properly at all. Or even on a doll, like if I had gotten like a mini Bratz doll head or something like that. But I would be interested to see if I could. I will say as well that with the dolls that didn't have any defects, or really not many defects, the quality on them was actually very, very good. The amount of detail that went into these dolls was a good job, I will say that. I was even impressed with like the wintertime collection where like, it has different textures on it. And so they molded those textures into it, even going so far as like, putting in textures to like the leggings and like the sweater and stuff like that. Like you could actually feel like the kind of ribbing, I guess. You could feel the texture sweater texture, that. So, and the last kind of good point I did find is the pricing of the product itself. I still think it's rather expensive for what they're offering, but I did do the math for the mini surprises, basically because everybody was saying like, oh, everything except for the holiday edition Bratz you can find in regular mini Bratz surprise bags. So I was like, okay, well then how much would it have been? And I think in my area it's about, somewhere between like $7 and $9. So going kind of in the middle and doing like, $8 or so, or $8.99, somewhere in there. It roughly came out to about the same price as the mini the advent calendar. It's a little cheaper, but only by like a few bucks. So it's like, it's kind of on par for what you're buying. And then on top of that, it's a thing of, with that said, it's like, then you add in the holiday edition, and yeah, it would have amounted to about the same. So in a way, it's like, they're not necessarily cheapskating you in that sense, where they're like upping the price for the product itself. It's like, no, you're paying about the same amount as if you had gotten like 6 or 7 mini, surprise bags at the store. But now overall, how would I rate this product? So honestly, with the quality of the products that I've gotten, reading some of the reviews, and then the hassle that I've had to go through with some of these, and then on top of that, just my own disappointment with the brands, or the brand itself, because obviously I was expecting something different, I would actually have to put this at like a 2 out of 5 kind of deal. I feel bad kind of giving that to MGA because I do like MGA's products. I like the Bratz brand, but it does kind of seem like they're more in it for the money now than the actual quality, I suppose, or like the customers, I suppose, because even the mini surprise bags are a little expensive in my opinion, because they're like, again, between $7 and $9, but they come with 2 surprises, and that's it. And it's like, okay, your LOL surprise dolls come with like between 5 and 10, and they're cheaper, I believe, or about the same, but they offer more surprises. So it's kind of like they're making you pay for the nostalgia in the name, which I'm not all about. So I'm not really enticed to go out and buy more of these mini, Bratz brand stuff. With that said, what do I think the price should have been on this? Honestly, I think the price should have been somewhere between like $25 and $30, almost half the price of what they're offering. So, and the fact that the mini bags and stuff like that also are like roughly about the same price, like adding them all together, I would also cut those in half as well, because again, you're only getting 2 surprises. Why am I going to pay? It's kind of like the whole thing of, I do this comparison, especially for companies' products, to kind of give them an idea of especially what poor families go through. And I know that we're not the target audience. Poor families are not the target audience. But especially for people where I live, we're very poor. So many of us are probably not going to buy the product, because this is what it comes down to. When your product costs about the same as a meal from any fast food restaurant, I hate to say it, you are going to lose out with many families, because they are going to find more value in a Burger King meal than they are a toy that their child's only going to enjoy for maybe like a couple minutes. Yeah. The meal is going to keep the child alive and, aware for 3 days, if that's the only meal they get. The toy is going to keep them alive and aware. Never. So yeah, when your product becomes the same price as a survival item, that's where I kind of lose interest in your product, because it's like, I like food better. Food is more fulfilling than a toy. I know as a child, many children are not going to feel that way, but as an adult, and I'm sure as parents would feel like, that's going to be the comparison. And at the end of the day, the parents have the last say. They control the wallet, not the child. I am very sorry that this is my first introduction to the Bratz franchise, and it's not exactly a happy one, but please be rest assured that I do have other Bratz products, stuff that was from the earlier days, back when I feel like MGA was actually good, when they actually cared more about their products than they did the money that went behind them. Yeah, I just hope MGA does better. Yeah, so hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.